Thank you so much for your time. Very
My pleasure. Thanks for
appreciate
having
it.
me.
First and foremost, I've been asking everybody this. How are you doing? How has the last few months been over there? How's it all been going? Because it's fun, isn't it?
The world is literally on fire, and I hate it. Um, things are strange. Things are definitely strange. Not gonna lie, hating the air quality right now. Um, but it's been nice planning a wedding. That hasn't been nice, but it's been nice having the time to plan the wedding. So we're eloping next month. And Ida, stop eating the books, please. You have a rabbit now.
That's the one thing with these Zoom meetings. You get to speak to all these people, and they're like, "Oh yes, my cat, my dog."
Pretty much. Oh, and here's the dog coming up right now. Hang on. Here he is. Here he is.
Oh, he's cute. He's a cutie. Look at his. Oh, I love his little beard. His little
Yeah.
Willem Dafoe from Lighthouse beard. It's like bushy and things.
Scruffy little man.
Hey, dude. Oh, he's lovely. Yeah, so planning a wedding. Well, my sister was getting married in April, and obviously she's
Yeah, no.
so that can't be fun. That can't be fun, I'm sure.
It's been a little bit of both. Like it started out miserable because we worked so hard to get this date and we finally made everything work. And then of course everything happened. And now that everything's happened, it gives us the opportunity to have an elopement instead, where we'll only have 12 people, including us, only close family members. And we managed to get a little cabin that we wouldn't have been able to get if quarantine didn't happen. So mixed bag of little blessings.
Yeah. Has it been the same for work rise, as in you've been able to maybe read scripts and stuff, but obviously not work in some
Exactly. I can read as many scripts as I want, but every job keeps being yeah, can't do it now. I actually had 2 jobs that I was gearing up for right as quarantine hit that both got just canned, which was a huge bummer.
Yeah, not the first time. Very sadly, not the first time I've heard that from people. I think there's a lot of people who are mid things and at the end of things, and
I always wanted to be part of One Day at a Time, and I finally had that episode that I was going to come in and do, and it was no.
Oh no. Oh, it's it's plus you have all the other stuff going on over there, don't you? Forest fires.
Yeah. It's literally on fire.
Yeah, and people in charge. Well, I can't really talk. I've got people in charge.
Yeah, y'all have.
Yeah.
I feel like the US, the UK, and Australia, we're all equally just fucked right now.
Yeah, it's a fun time. 2020. Oh dear. Anyway, I wanted to ask you about the film. Fantastic film. Really enjoyed it. It's obviously a very serious subject matter and almost like a play in some respects. But I just wanted to ask. I spoke to Anson the other day, so kind of doing you as a two-hander.
Oh, I love that man.
How was it working for him? Let's talk about him just briefly. How was it like working with him? Because you two have some great scenes in the movie together.
I love Anson. He is such a delightful, talented, just wonderful being. And playing off of him and having that sort of sibling familial relationship with him was so easy, so instantaneous. Every single one of us on the cast ended up feeling very protective of Anson, and we all sort of adopted him. Even though we all met his parents and love his family, we still adopted him.
Yeah, and you were all in I didn't know this until I spoke to him. You were all in the UK. You filmed this film in the UK in a nice little tranquil place, which I wasn't expecting. So he was a bit at home. It was all you that were the outsiders in some respects.
Yeah, let's see. It was me and Rainn, and then a bunch of Brits. Oh, and some Aussies and Kiwis.
It's a good mix. It's a really good mix of people in that film. How was that experience? Because you almost, I guess, replicated, because I said to Anson, you almost had your own bubble before it was stylish.
Yeah, 100%. With crew and everything. As soon as we left London and went to this home, we all had little cottages, and then we would just skip down the road. It really did feel like prep for quarantine.
It's a good
did.
starting point. Yeah.
Yeah.
How was it shooting in England though? Because it's a lovely place where you are. where you were?
Unbelievably gorgeous. Since I didn't work every day, like we did shoot it like a play. And we rehearsed it like a play and we shot it like a play. It was a unparalleled experience for me. And so some days, some scenes, there are sections where not all of us are in it. And on those days and during those sections, we would get to wander around the house and go for little strolls. And if we weren't on set that day, we could go on little adventures. And so that was amazing. I would go on little walks past the property, down a little trail, find the gnarly tree that Mia and Kate have that epic sister talk on. I spent so much time in that tree. So much time in that tree on my off times, just listening to the wind and the water. And otherwise, we would all hang out in like a little green room, workout room in that home. And we'd be quiet during filming, and then between we'd be telling stories, cracking jokes, playing guitar. And on weekends, Susan primarily would organize weekend trips to just different areas of a couple hour drive sometimes a couple minutes. We got all the way to, is it Bristol? I don't remember. We went traveling one weekend. It was amazing. It was so much fun, and production got each of us personal assistants, so it really was a bubble situation. We would have people helping us figure things out and really stayed in a collective unit. And so our assistants would come with us on our little adventures out so they could show us around and corral us when we got a little too excited.
Fun times. Is it fun to do that? Obviously, I know you were in the Scream TV show, which I guess was a very different beast, you know, working in TV and everything else. But is it nice to do something like this, to go and just be away from everybody and just be in a group of people, you know, doing this like you would be in a play? You're kind of, you know, insular together, but to do that and then shoot it the way you shot it must be quite refreshing, I'd imagine.
It really was. It was something I didn't realize how much I'd missed, kind of being that cohesive unit. And it's something like you get bits and pieces of in TV shows, but nothing like what Blackbird was, because it was so intensive. Oh yeah, I absolutely loved it. It's definitely very different from most of the things that I've had a chance to do, in some ways. It was really special. I wish I had a more exciting word, but it was really just special. You know, it's something that I really haven't ever experienced before, and I'm not sure I ever will again. And it's definitely something I'm going to cherish for the rest of my life.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a fantastic story as well, and this family. And what drew you to your character? Because she's kind of, you know, she's semi the outsider, but she seems to be a bit more level-headed than everyone else in the room. I just wondered what it was that drew you to her, and what it was to play her.
Well, when I first read the script, they were still trying to figure out exactly who Chris was going to be, and I think the original was Chris was Hispanic male in his 30s. And then I think it was like they were having a meeting with so many different actors to try to see who would play what. And I think they were talking to like Shailene Woodley, and Shailene was like, you know what would be really interesting is if Anna were gay or bi or queer. And after that meeting, they took a whole different track, and they started like interviewing all these, I'd say women, but then they also interviewed me, and I'm non-binary. So a lot of different actors. And I ended up kind of sliding in there last minute. I think there were a couple other people on the list that they were paring down. And then my agent is a Spitfire. And he was like, hold on, there's one more person you haven't seen yet. Let me get you a tape. So my fiance and I actually, we weren't engaged at the time, but at the time I was just dating who is about to be my wife. And we went to my agent's office and we spent hours on this tape, just perfecting it, because the story was so beautiful, and so special. I mean, it's not often that you get to play an outsider who comes in and, as you said, is the level-headed one, is sort of a glue, so to speak. Usually when you play an outsider, you come in and you're the weird one, the brooding one, which is what I'm used to playing. And so getting to come in and being the open one, the warm one, was great. I loved it because, like, sometimes I like to think I'm pretty warm and inviting and charming. And so getting to play that was like, yes, I can see if I can actually do this in real life.
I mean, it's great. I mean, it's fantastic with your character and obviously working with Mia and that relationship, because, you know, she's dealing with a lot. She's struggled with a lot of mental health issues, and then all of this is happening and stemming from that. How was that relationship to kind of grab between the two of you? Because it feels not only like a genuine relationship, but there's a genuine kind of love between the two characters that it kind of comes off on the screen.
Yeah, I mean, I got super protective of Mia really quickly. That's just who I am. I'm like, I see you, I see your heart. You're a wonderful person. Let me look out for you. Let me do this for you. And so being able to play that just got infinitely easier after meeting Mia. And I mean, I had a relationship with a very mentally ill person that was very tumultuous and unhealthy. And so I kind of got to tap into that with this and sort of manipulate my past relationship and utilize some of it for this character, but only the good parts. So it was also really therapeutic for me, you know? And so there was a storyline that got cut where Chris didn't know that this was why they were coming to the house, that this is what this weekend was. But, you know, timing and cuts and everything, like that one, Mia and I filmed this beautiful argument scene on the dock. And I totally understand why it didn't make the movie, and totally understand the way that it went. And doing that scene and having that kind of tumultuous relationship that gets sort of softened through performance was really special to be able to have happen, even if it didn't show up in the film. Does that make any sense?
Yeah, well, I guess also I'm not, you know better than me, but in the sense of you guys together, I've seen like that must have helped with the rest of the film, even if it didn't make the movie, because it makes your relationship on screen stronger.
100%. And like, I also came out as non-binary to the entire cast. And Mia and I had a great conversation about how does Chris identify and how do Chris and Anna interact and what is their relationship. We had so many great conversations about our characters and our characters' relationships and interactions that as soon as we got onto set and into the house and cameras were rolling, nothing felt unknown or unprepared. Nothing felt up in the air. Everything felt grounded and honest and ready, which is great.
Yeah, it comes across on the screen. Really, really does. The relationship between you guys is fantastic. One thing I said to Anson was, you get these opportunities to go and do these amazing films, and someone says, "Oh, you're going to make a film with Sam Neill." Great. And then on the list is Susan Sarandon, Kate Winslet, Rainn Wilson, all these other guys. I mean, even though you know, young actors obviously want to work with these people, to get to do it and to see their process and to spend the time that you guys have spent in this, as you say, in this bubble, must have made it even more, as you said, very, very, very special. How was it working with those guys and seeing their process and getting to know them, because they're the kind of giants of the industry?
totally titans of this industry. And I have, before the experience, I only had the utmost respect for them. Now that I've worked with them and know them on a personal level, I would do anything to protect them. They own a special place in my heart and on my body. Like,
is that something you guys got? Oh, amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing. Love that.
All 8 of us, 9 with Roger. Is it 8 or 9 with Roger? I can't count anymore. It's been too long. But all of us, the entire cast and Roger, we all got little Blackbird tattoos.
Amazing. That's really cool. That's really cool. That's a sign of a good time on set, then, I suppose, with all these people.
Like I gotta say, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe they'll tell me I'm wrong, but I think that the whole lot of us really clicked and became our own little Blackbird family.
Yeah, absolutely. Just as a final question, thanks. I know you've got to go. I mean, how are you enjoying your career as it goes? Obviously, you spoke there about the fact that this character got changed and became very specific to you, and you know, something that, you know, it could have quite easily just gone very generic, which it didn't, and it's very important to the story. I just wondered how your career, you know, how you're going with your career. Are you happy with, you know, how it's going? Are you excited about the challenges that you've got coming up if you get to go back to work at some point?
Right. I'm so excited. There's, you know, since the world is starting to try to move a little bit more, there's been a lot more kind of popping up, and it makes me excited to go back to work. I love nothing more than working. It makes me happy. And I've missed it. I really, really have. And I know that, you know, I might never have an experience quite as special as Blackbird, and that's totally okay, because I will have even more experiences that are special in their own ways.
Yeah.
And I'm really stoked for that. I've been really, really lucky. I've had an excellent career. I love everything I've done, and I can't wait to do more.
Fantastic. Well, listen, thank you so much for your time. Absolute pleasure talking to you. It was a blast. Bye, Doggy. Bye, Rabbit. Everybody else, stay safe, and yeah, good luck with the film. Look at his face. Love it.
All right, see you later.
Care.
Thanks, Scott.
Cheers.
Bye.
Ladies and gentlemen, you're watching Hey You Guys.
Hey You Guys, huh?
Hey, you guys.
Is that from the Goonies?
It is indeed, yeah.
Nice.
Hey!